Guys, it's Jane. It's Friday today, so it's time for another Friday Reads. Now, before I get started, I just wanted to say a quick hello and welcome to any new subscribers who might be watching. It's lovely to have you here. And I'd also like to say a big thank you to Janie over at the Bookworms Buddy, who did a shout out video last week and included me. And thank you very much, Janie. Okay, down to business. This week I finished 2 books. This one, The Secret History of Wonder Woman. It's non-fiction. It's basically a history of the guy, William Moulton Marston, who invented Wonder Woman, and his family. He married one woman. He took up with another who came and went throughout their lives together. And then at some point, he brought one of his students home. And she ended up with bracelets welded to her wrists. Does that remind you of anybody? And she lived with them permanently, the rest of their lives. So her name was Olive. The book refers to his actual legally married wife as Holloway, which was her married name, and that's all I can remember her as. So there's Holloway, Olive, and Marston, and then there was this other woman who came and went, who was the kind of free spirit of the 4 of them. Marston created Wonder Woman in sort of midlife. Before then, he'd done a whole bunch of weird and wacky things. He studied law, he studied psychology, he worked as a psychologist, he lectured in it, he started a number of businesses, which all folded. He was a quite important part of the invention of the lie detector test. And he got himself into a whole bunch of trouble. All 3 were involved in the feminist movement to different degrees, and they espoused a very specific, some version of feminist philosophy. The interesting thing is that he says that he believes that women are in fact superior to men and that women should be ruling the world, and yet he very much ruled the roost. In this household. It's an interesting kind of tension in that. So Holloway went out to work to support them all, which was all well and good, but she also wanted to have kids. And so this was a really difficult thing, because who was going to look after the kids? Clearly Marston. He was not the makings of a great house husband, quite frankly. So this problem was resolved when Marston came home with one of his most promising students, who took on the role of mother to the children, essentially. She had a couple of kids of her own. She also raised Holloway's kids, and she did the typing. So it was a thoroughly liberated household, as you can tell. So there's a lot of stuff about the history of the feminist movement and just this very odd and strange family, and a whole bunch of stuff about the early days of Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman went through a number of phases, but she was originally written very distinctly as a feminist sort of ideal. The book has hundreds of photographs and illustrations, mostly in black and white, but there are a number of colour panels in the middle. This is, if anybody's interested in this sort of period and Wonder Woman and the feminist movement in America between the suffragettes and second wave feminism in the 70s, this is a really interesting read. The second one that I finished this week was Stephen King's Carrie. I read this for my In Real Life book club, which is meeting on Tuesday, so I've been kind of putting it off because I wasn't super looking forward to it. I don't read horror by choice because I don't enjoy it, basically. So this was Stephen King's debut novel. This is a well-written, interestingly put together piece. It's quite chilling. Your heartstrings get pulled. Like, I felt quite sympathetic to almost every character in here. But I still am left with the fact that I don't really enjoy this kind of story. I don't really enjoy the emotional experience of reading it, for all that it was quite a well-written book. But anyway, Carrie, I read it. Done. What I'm reading at the moment, I am still plugging away at Dostoevsky, The Brothers Karamazov. I'm about 2/3 of the way through, and I'm now feeling confident that I'm going to finish. I don't know, should I be telling you what's been going on? After the Storets died, which I talked a little bit about, stuff with the Storets and Aloysia are kind of the first sort of major section of the book. And there's whole introduction to the main characters there. Then there's all this drama between the two other brothers, the eldest and middle brother, Dmitri and Ivan, over a woman, or in fact, two women. Dmitri, who's the eldest brother, is also in a conflict with his father over a woman because these are passionate people, clearly. And there's this night where this thing happens, and Dostoevsky describes in quite vivid detail everything up to the crucial moment. And then there's like this 5 minutes that aren't described. You have all of the details of this evening, and then 5 minutes that's not described, and then that narrative picks up after it. And then a few hours later, the police arrive to arrest one of the characters because of the thing that happened in that 5 minutes. And so you don't know whether he's actually guilty or not. So I've actually got a bit past that now. There was a whole section of the book which is a story of the character being interrogated by the police and whatever. And now we're in kind of this lull or something, or we've gone back to Aloysia, I don't know, the youngest brother. We've gone back to the youngest brother and some stuff that's going on with him. The overall thrust of the book, I'm not really sure I'm really there with it, but I'm going to finish it. And when I finish it, I'll have time to think about it and find out what other people say it's supposed to be telling me. But yeah, it is actually a really interesting read. And I've been wanting to read this book, and I've been trying to get through this book for so many years that I'm super excited about the fact that I'm now seeing like the end of the tunnel approaching. The other thing that I started was I just started this one, another Colin Cotterill. This one's called Disco for the Departed. This is a Dr. Siri mystery. So between Dostoevsky and Colin Cotterill, that'll probably see me out for the weekend. I'd love to hear what you guys are reading. I hope you're all well, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.